So Rockstar recently added drift tuning to the Fudo. Now, if you know about the Fudo is one of those early drift cars in Grand Theft Auto Online, or just Grand Theft Auto in general, where if you wanted to get sideways, you'd most likely get a Fudo. So for 9,000 or for free, because you could find this car on the street, take it in, put insurance on it, and put drift tuning on it, you could have a easily accessible drift car. Now, I couldn't find my original Fudo, unfortunately, as iconic as that one was for me. I just can't find it. So, 9 grand, I shelled that out for you guys. You could find them on the street, but by the time I found them on the street, I was already driving this. So, nonetheless, small price to pay. Now, one thing I will recommend about the Fudo is actually take your time to customize it. You'd be surprised how cool you can make a Fudo. This one's delivery of my Fudo that I can't find. But I'm gonna choose something different just in case if I do come across the car in my garage. So yeah. I am contemplating this, but none of this matters. As long as you have the drift tuning on the car, that's the only thing that counts. You could have fresh off the street, drift tuning installed, you're good to go. So a bit of time has passed. As you can see, it's now daytime. It was nighttime in that first clip. And I've been driving this thing around, and it reminds me so much of old method drifting with a bit of assist. What I mean by old method is basically taking a car that's fully modified, which would be in your best interest too, and lowering it by shooting the wheels and then just trying to take some corners with it. Now, drift tuning is just basically that with an assist, minus the lowering, and you could just repair the car, just continuously go around swinging the car, whatever. Now, drift tuning on the Fudo is something else because the Fudo is already novice welcoming. You can be a novice drifter. This is why I said this is one of the go-to cars when you want to join the drift, and then you go up the ranks of cars in Grand Theft Auto. So you start out with a Fudo, and then maybe a Banshee if you need a little bit more power. So with the Fudo now, this Fudo is just now getting it. The Fudo GTX also has it, and that was pretty good as well. So I must say the Fudo is a kind of a go-to. I'm betting you could actually see a increase of Fudos in drift races if you do them more frequently. Now, it's been a while since I did a drift race. I'm gonna do a drift race just to see if I could prove my point. Especially when you hit some of the green zones. I don't hit some of the green zones in drift races just because if you lose that score streak, yeah, you gotta risk it for the biscuit, but like, I don't think it's worth it. I never really gotten too much from there. I just rather sometimes hit the precision drift markers. So yeah, but nonetheless, the Fudo is a pretty good drift car, and if you haven't learned to drift in this game, you're not too late. Perfect time to start. Drift tuning is available on this thing, but 200 grand, that's it's not kind of steep. It's weird. Maybe in 10 years ago, 200 grand, I might be looking at you crazy. I'm like, oh my goodness, who has 200 grand just to put on a tune, right? But 200 grand in GT Online today, nothing. That's like a drop in the bucket. As you can see, I'm holding a pretty much solid line here, like a consistent drift, and it's pretty easy. There's no method to the car. It's just turn, gas, and then smoke. That's it. Yep, just hitting these signs pretty easily. So wherever you point the car goes. There's no actual drama, which makes this really good. I did not mean to hit that barricade. Maybe one day I'll do a video comparing old method drifting as I previously compared to drift tuning. So the car will stay around for a while. So as I promised, I did say I was gonna do a race. So let's do it. Now the race that it threw me into is Go With The Flow. Not my favorite. It's around the Paleto Bay area, if I'm not mistaken. And that community has a bit of, like, they put some types of debris around there, like cones and stuff that you can hit, but you need to be careful with whatever you hit because you might lose your score streak. So we have a RX-7 and we're against a Jester RR. So the Fudo is definitely in a class of its own here. And the key is, what I will give you, never start off first with that boost. Yes, it's cool to have the boost, because you want it, because you hit the gas at the right time. Nice. Ooh, precision drift, nice. Going on the curve a little bit, not gonna hit that green zone. Oh, not enough power to push that through. Multiplier, come on. And you actually see some people lose their drift scores because they're trying to go too hard. Well, your main objective is to win, and then secondly to have fun. And this is kind of a crazy section. As you can see, the car just doesn't want to spin out, which is one thing I don't like about the Fudo. Low RPM drifting with the drift tool on, it's very possible. As you can see, I was just turning it, left, right, with a little bit of fuel, with a little bit of gas modulation in between, and we made it out of there. So a car that's very forgiving is something that you do want as a novice, or even as a pro. You could use that to your advantage. I'm not saying I'm a pro by any means. This drifting in Grand Theft Auto, I had some clips back in the day, which was pretty crazy before I started the YouTube channel. But man, I think I'm a pro amateur just because of how long it took me to get back into it, and then I'm not even fully back into it now. So always practice. And the race is over. These are the results. First, I knew that the Fudo would come out on top, as I said. You have to be careful of what you're hitting, and then you just need to know how to drive the car. And third, which is really more important than the first two, I have a car that's really forgiving. The Fudo is really forgiving, so I knew the car wouldn't stall out a lot. I stalled out because I threw the car into a corner, and I kind of underestimated how much power I needed. So the Fudo just came to a stop, and then they counted it. So that's pretty much it for the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think about the Fudo and the drift tune on the Fudo down below in the comment section.